Welcome gamers, my name is Neumatix and this is Minecraft. Obviously, Java Edition. But more specifically, it's modded Minecraft. If you look down here in the corner, we're powered by Forge right now. I wanted to go ahead and do a survivor world with actually additions and do a showcase on it through Survival Let's Play. So as we're loading in, I went ahead and got us on top of a hillside here. I only have a few mods installed, nothing that's going to interfere with actually additions itself. If we go over to the let's go to mod options. And if we look over here in the left-hand side, you can see there's a couple different mods that I've installed. I think there's 18 in total. But the main one that we're obviously going to deal with is actually additions. The only other one that might add in some more items that we will not use is refined storage and probably treasure too, maybe a couple things out of there. But that's more for me to have fun with, to find some pretty cool treasure, and refined storage is probably for later on in case I want to showcase that mod. But like I said, actually additions is going to be the main one we use, and trying to stick to only that mod as we build things to really show what it can actually do on its own. So obviously we first started out, I got lucky over on this hillside with a bunch of sheep, so I don't have to worry about getting a bed. But we're going to do the boring thing, of course. The first initial thing we need to do is break down a tree. Now the really cool thing is one of the mods I have in here is called Tree Capitator, and it allows me to go ahead and chop down trees from the very bottom, and it will take care of the rest. I'll show you guys that later when I go ahead and make an axe, and then I can actually chop down this tree a lot faster than doing it by hand right now. All right, very nice, very nice. Let's go ahead and take some of these and let's make our crafting bench. Cool. So obviously you guys know exactly how to do all this little boring stuff in the beginning. We're really going to dive in when I start making the first thing that we need, and that is going to be an atomic reconstructor that's used from the mod. If we go, I already have it pulled up here in actually additions, and if we go to this is the atomic reconstructor. This thing is literally the first thing you're going to want to make as soon as you get the mod, because this allows you to bring in everything else the mod has to offer. So I did forget to mention that as soon as you create something that is in actually additions, it's going to pop out this little cool actually additions manual. So if there's anything that you need reference on later on when you're playing through and you're like, hey, what did Neumatix say about this item or this block or this whatever, you could go in here and figure out exactly which item does what. But obviously I don't need that, so I'm going to toss that over there, and then we're going to go ahead and grab some. Don't worry about the little sheep I took care of earlier. I needed a bed. I needed to make sure that I could sleep so the monsters didn't attack me, because I did not have time to make myself a shelter right away. But I wanted to show you guys real quick. So I made something called tiny coal. Tiny coal can be used in different ways. One of the ways is you can actually put it in the furnace if you want to smelt just one item. Instead of wasting coal, if you put one thing of coal and you only had one cobblestone in there, it's going to waste a lot of fuel right there. But if you want only one thing to smelt down, easily one tiny coal, one piece of stone, done. But if you want to use it for something else, say to make some torches, instead of making one torch from one, or actually four, I should say, 4 out of 1, you can actually take a tiny piece of coal with a stick and get 2 tiny torches. You go and place those down, which was the first thing I made from this mod. It's just little. So in reality, this little torch gives you its bang for its buck. If you want to go ahead and make torches, this is the way to go, honestly, when you go with the tiny coal, because if you place one piece of coal, let me go and just give you reference here. I'll grab some sticks. If you place one piece of coal, you're going to get 4. But as I showed, if you place one tiny coal, you get 2. So in reality, one piece of coal gives you 8, which means you're going to get 16 torches out of tiny coal from making it out of one piece of coal than if you were to just place a piece of coal in there with 4 regular torches. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to want to do is go and make some kind of storage, because the one thing that we're going to do is get a lot of materials, and I don't want to have a bunch of chests all over the place. So actually additions helps you out with this by giving you something called a small storage crate, which is easily made with just some wood casing, and some chest, wood casing made with some more wood, of course. This gives you a lot more storage than an actual chest, which we could go ahead and upgrade to a medium storage crate, which gives you even more room, of course. And then you guessed it, we have a large storage crate, which gives you even more than that, which is a lot harder to make, with some mid-game stuff we will obviously get into later. So I'm going to go ahead and go cut down some trees. I'm going to waste this little wood axe so I don't have to deal with it later. And then I'm probably going to make something else that comes with actual additions, which is called a all-in-one tool. If you go over like this one, the Palace Crystal AIOT. The all-in-one tool. It allows you to go ahead and use it as an axe, a shovel, a hoe, a pickaxe, and a sword. All in one, obviously. It's all in the name. I wanted to show you guys how the little torches look at night. So I think I was wrong about them giving off the same amount of light, but they still look pretty cool. They don't look so obnoxious like the tall regular torches. Oh, and I also wanted to show you guys this cool little mod, the Treecapitator. It has nothing to do with actual additions. It just makes my life so much easier when I'm cutting down trees. If this lets me. I think it's going to take quite a bit. Okay, that took way longer than expected, but look at that. It chopped down the entire tree. Literally, that probably took about 30 seconds, so no thank you. I'm not going to keep that. I'm just going to go make my all-in-one tool and chop down trees that way instead. All right, so I got all the materials needed to make my all-in-one tool. I just go over here. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to make it because these have some damage on them, so I need to go ahead and make a brand new stone pickaxe and a brand new sword, unfortunately. Let me do that real quick. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, I can go ahead and do this. And there we go, an all-in-one tool. And I think it has a little more damage than a sword. So it's probably something you want to make right away. And like I said, it makes your life easier because you can do everything with it. You can cut down trees, you can dig out sand and dirt, you could go ahead and mine out stone like this, and you can even make paths, and you can go and use it like a hoe to go ahead and farm stuff. So if I do this, oh, look at that. Another little thing that I needed to mention is the worm. So the worm is pretty neat. It's something you might want to try and get right away if you want to farm right away. It will go ahead and create a 3x3 area once placed down that will keep the land tilled, and it will keep it wet. So if I go and place something down like this, and I place a worm down, he will go ahead and basically till out. Look at that. He already got me another worm too. He'll till out this 3x3 area and keep it wet so you don't need a water source. Now, once this guy's placed down, the only way to get him back, you can't click on him or anything. You actually have to break the block he's on. So I do that. Or not. You might sometimes not get the worm back. I had 3 to begin with after I put that one down, and I still have only 3. So maybe you can't place it down, so just be careful, I guess, when you go to place down the worms. But obviously, you can get them pretty easily by just tilling the land all over the place, and one will pop out like it did just there. I got 2 out of that little area, so pretty cool. So I obviously wanted to get some seeds planted right away and put these guys to use, and there we go. A nice little plot up on our hill over here, full of rock. All right, so I could finally make my small storage crate after going through all the trouble chopping down all those trees. I can go in and make one right here. So if I make a wood casing, then I could go ahead and go to small storage crate, and boom, there we go. Now, if I want to make another one, I think all I need is a void crystal. So void crystals are made from that atomic reconstructor, which we can't make yet because we need some iron. So as soon as we find some iron and some redstone, we should be in good shape and we can make something a little better than what we have at the moment. But not a big deal. We can actually upgrade this guy, but look at this. Look at how much more room this has than a regular chest. Let me make a chest just to show the comparison. All right, here we go. Regular chest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 across. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It already has 9 across, which this has across the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have a lot more room, obviously, in the small storage crate than we do in actual chest, which makes a lot of sense because we used up 4 chests in order just to make one of these guys. But obviously, it's going to be a lot more beneficial for us in the long run. This is because we can actually upgrade this guy by using the small to medium storage crate upgrade, which is used by using a medium storage crate put in together with some wood. And what's even better about these guys is that you can actually make something that you could put inside here to break it and keep all the items in to move it wherever you need, unlike chests where you need to move everything hand over hand trying to get it to another area. So what I mean by this is if you go in here, if you go to storage crate keeper, if you make one of these guys, it's not that expensive, honestly. You get some iron with some black quartz. You can make this upgrade. You can put it inside the small storage crate. You can break it, move it, place it down, and all of your items will still be inside. But that little upgrade, this little storage crate keeper, will disappear, so you can't use and abuse it. You will have to make another one. All right, so I think I've made everything I wanted to at the moment that we can before we need to make the atomic reconstructor, which I said is basically the backbone of this mod. So I want to go down and explore a cave, find some materials, make that so we can make even better stuff. So I see a cave down yonder. I'm going to go over there, explore it, find some cool stuff, and hopefully make the atomic reconstructor when I come back. So I ran down into that little cave and I found some iron right away, actually right here. And I went down there, ran into a skelly, not a big deal. But as I came up, I looked over here and what do you know? We got a little glitch going on. Actually, I think that's the first time I've ever ran into that in a survival Let's Play. I think that's the first time I've ever ran into that glitch. So weird. Okay, so I finally got everything I need now to go and create the atomic reconstructor after going and digging all the way down. I made a little mine shaft going all the way down into the side of this mountain hill, and I finally found some redstone and a little bit of black quartz, which is something that's added into the game through actually additions. So in order to make the atomic reconstructor, I'll go ahead and go in here. Easy enough, go in here, make the iron casing. And then, boom. All right, so now we can go ahead and place this guy down, but it needs crystal flux, which is a power source that is used in the mod. It's actually something that's used by many mods, maybe not exactly called crystal flux. It's gone by many different names, but in any case, it is just a form of power. Now, how do we make that power? Well, it's actually pretty simple. There's a couple different ways, but one of the easiest ways early on is through coal generation, which is basically making a furnace type item, but it generates crystal flux. So we need another iron casing, which I think we have enough to go ahead and make. Let's go ahead and do one of those. And then let's make our coal generator, but we need some coal and some cobblestone. So let's go and grab that other chest. Here and here. And then, boom. Coal generator. So as I was saying earlier, remember how I was saying it'd be a good idea to conserve your coal by making tiny coal to make those little torches, even though I realized they really don't put off enough light like the big torches. And I've grown a liking to just using the big torches, but if you are running low on coal, this would be the way to go, is to make the little torches. Anyways, it's because you're going to be going through a lot of energy with this thing. So I'm going to go and throw that in there. It's going to start creating some crystal flux, and that in turn is going to start transferring over to this one. If you look over in the bottom left corner, it just fired off, which is not what we want to do. We don't want this using up the energy it has right now. So in order to turn it off, we need to make a redstone torch. And you need to click on it. So now it's technically in deactivation mode, even though it says redstone mode pulse. So now we don't have to worry about it using up all the energy we just gave it. And now we can just let this run its course and give it all the energy it needs, because we're going to need all of it in order to make future items in this mod. So now that we've actually made this thing, let me show you what it can do. Since we have a abundance of redstone, and we're definitely going to find some more later on, we have 4 left over, but that's okay. We need some armor and we need some tools. Remember how I made the all-in-one tool? Well, we can actually do that with Restonia crystals, which are made from the atomic reconstructor. And we can actually make some Restonia crystal armor, which is a tad better than iron. So easy enough, just flick that on. And I'm gonna throw the redstone right in front of it and wait for it to go ahead and turn it into Restonia crystal. There we go. Turn it back off so we don't waste that power, and look at that. 35 Restonia crystals, which we can actually use to make many different things in the mod, which this drill core, we're definitely going to want to use. We're definitely going to want to get this at some point, but we need a lot more iron in order to make it. This is used to make an item that I use in many of my past Let's Plays, which is the drill. The drill is basically a never-ending, never-breaking diamond pick that works in many different ways that you guys will find out as we develop it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start making the Restonia tools and everything. So I need to go and make a pick. I need to make an axe, a shovel, all the items needed to make that all-in-one tool. All right, and then boom. Now we got an item that is actually better than iron. And honestly, we're gonna need a lot more iron, so that's good. And we need to make a helm, chest plate, feet, and the legs. Okay, cool. Now Look at that. That looks cool. It looks really good. And we're actually protected now, so we can actually fight some mobs and not have to worry too much. So I'm going to go and use up the rest of this iron pick, and then we can start using our Restonia Crystal all-in-one tool. But I think for now, this is a good stopping point for this episode. Episode number 1, under wraps. I think that we did a good job. We went over a couple of good things. We ended up going over tiny coal. We went over storage crates, the all-in-one tool, and the atomic reconstructor here, and a little bit of coal generation, which is pretty cool. In the next episode, I think I'm going to actually maybe build a base. I always am horrible about building bases in my Let's Plays, but I think I'll try and do one this time. Maybe we'll go try and find a village and go over a couple more things in the mod, such as some more generation of some sort, probably the heat collector, and definitely the crusher. The crusher is going to be vital for us to be doubling our ores and making our lives so much easier as we progress in the mod. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy the episode, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel to get the next few episodes that will be coming out week after week. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.